Hello, this is Russell Fuentes, and I'm from 2.7 BSIT, and I'm currently doing on measuring system performance and principles of operating system. And as for our agenda, I'm just going to be introducing briefly about the purpose of this video, and alongside with it, I'm also going to be explaining what are the uses and what are the functions of FRAPS and Task Manager on performance monitoring. So first, well, the main purpose of this video is to explore how to measure system performance during gaming, but not only gaming, but it also complies with the um, multitasking of different softwares. If our CPU can handle those things altogether. This is also crucial for understanding how hardware handles demanding games and ensuring a smooth, responsive experience. So moving on from the FRAPS, this is actually a popular tool that can be downloaded on the website. It also monitors and records frame rates, FPS in real time, allowing you to see how well your GPU is handling the game. It also offers benchmarking features to track performance over time. Well, FPS is actually kind of crucial on every gaming platform because it will identify if you can be able to perform well inside a gaming community if the FPS kind of bit high, but if it offers kind of bit low FPS, you can expect that there might be some kind of pocket losses or maybe kind of glitches when you are trying to run the software. So we also have here the Task Manager. It is a built-in Windows utility that provides a broad overview of our system's resource usage, including CPU, memory disk, and network activity. It also helps identify any bottlenecks or issues during gameplay. It also kind of same with the FRAPS because it also a software where we can be able to track real time or monitor the usage of CPU, memory disk, and network activity. But one thing that can be, I think, one of the advantage of using Task Manager is we can also detect how fast and how slow our um, connection speed is. So, well, these two together offer a comprehensive view of system performance while gaming, enabling better optimization and troubleshooting. So, yeah, now we have been able to explain what are the usage of FRAPS and Task Manager. Let's just go on to I'm gonna show you how to download and install FRAPS. So just like you see here on our website, we are gonna be um, I'm gonna show you how to. Okay, let me just operate this Google Chrome of mine. Okay, we're gonna be searching FRAPS here, and at the very first link, you're gonna be see the official website of FRAPS. This is actually crucial on downloading such as this kind of software on the website because it can be contained such as viruses or malwares. So we need to be extra careful on choosing what links that we are going to access in, and as much as possible, we should only trust those official websites that offering the software that we might need. So you're gonna be um, going on this section where you can see the download, and there will be a link down here, download FRAPS. So it will gonna be going up here, and yep. So once you click the setup, it will just gonna be there will be a pop-up that is being displayed around here. But since I have already downloaded mine just 2 hours ago, so we don't have to click this one. And then once we have been able to successfully download the FRAPS, you're gonna be see it on your desktop menu. So Okay. So as for the next step, we are gonna be tackling about what are the components inside of FRAPS. So hang on for just a minute. Okay. So we're gonna be opening the FRAPS here. Well, as you can see here, I've already opened the FRAPS and I have already um, put some kind of configurations on different interfacer. So we got here the general. This is actually some kind of you know, like configuration where you can see um, the FRAPS window or the overlay window once the FRAPS has been started running. And we can also have here the FPS section where you can you know, put some hotkeys on it so that you can just easily manipulate when you're gonna be using the FRAPS as an software to be able to record your FPS. Yep, there are some kind of tools around here where you can see the overlay corner. This I'm selecting the top right corner so that it can be easily found. So later, once we have been put some games on it, we're gonna be seeing here like a number of our FPS, and that displays the real-time FPS of how FRAPS can be able to monitor those kind of interfaces inside a game. Yep. We also have the screenshots, the movies when you're want to some kind of monitoring FPS when you're trying to watch movies, and ask for the screenshot also. But we are gonna be mainly focusing on FPS since we're gonna be playing some games, so that we can showcase how our CPU can handle those demanding games such as Valorant. So yep, I'm just gonna be minimizing here because once we click the X, that it will just gonna be turned off. So yep. Okay, so then we are gonna be demonstrating how to open Task Manager. Um, so there are actually two methods of opening Task Manager. We can Control Shift and then Escape. Then it will gonna be going through specifically on the Task Manager, but we can also have some kind of sort of Control Alt Delete, and there will be a listed options where you can see the Task Manager on it. So well, yeah, you can put some those two together so that if that's kind of bit you know, easier for you to do. So by going from the task manager, we can see a lot of complicated things around here, all the stuff that is being going around and running around on your desktop. But we're not going to focus on here. So we are going to be focusing here on the performance. And as for this kind of interface, quite overwhelming for someone beginner like me to, you know, to identify all of these and what are the uses of this, what are the functions of this. So we got a different slides of sections around here. The first one will be the processes, performance, app history, startup, users and details, and services. So first of all, we're going to be tackling about the processes tab. So the processes tab, this tab lists all running applications, including background processes, displaying their individual resource usage, and such as CPU usage, memory usage, disk usage, network usage. So we can about see here what are the percentage of how much this our CPU being used when all this softwares are running together. It also same goes with the memory and also with the disk and also with the network usage. So going from the second section, we got here the performance tab. Well, this tab mainly provides a graphical overview of real-time usage statistics for key system components. So we got CPU, we got memory, disk, Ethernet, and GPU. So As for the CPU that I'm currently using right now, I'm currently using an AMD Ryzen 5 56G with Radeon graphics. As for this time, I don't have any GPU as of this moment. But one thing about the 56G with the Ryzen, they have the built-in um, graphics card on their CPU, so it is actually two-in-one resources. So I don't need to get a buy individually the GPU because it can single-handedly uh, such as demanding games such as Valorant and Call of Duty, and it offers a good kind of feedback and background of the CPU usage, and it also gives an outcome of of a high FPS in terms of um, first shooting games like CS:GO and Valorant. Well, this kind of um, tab we can see different a list of components such as CPU, memory, and disk, GPU, and network. Same goes with the processors. But at this one, it offers or it displays a graphical representation of how CPU usage we are actually using for this day or for this time, and this offers more distinct, more precise of monitoring the usage of a user in a desktop. Alright, so that's the that's the two main important tab that we have to focus on, and these are some kind of just I couldn't say that this five is not actually important, but it is just somehow a backup or somehow a components that we can use on a daily basis. So app history, we can be able to see how much all those apps that were being run that about a past few seconds ago. It also displayed here what are their CPU usage, what are the CPU time, the network, meter network, the tile updates. Startup, um, we can see here once we open the desktop on the first hand, we can see that a lot of things going around, a lot of software and applications that has been opening automatically. It is because the startup process for those applications or for those software are being enabled. So I am currently turning off because I don't want to have some kind of mess when I'm opening my desktop. So it's actually works for me. So it's how you prefers. And these are the details of other services such as um, you know the device manager. We can see here the details of every running and suspended software and the users of it. How much we are trying to know use the components of every parts on our PC. So that sums up about the different tabs that we can see here on Task Manager. So we are gonna be heading on on opening opening a popular game. Um, there are a lot of options here: Call of Duty, Fortnite, or Cyberpunk 2077. But as for this case, I'm gonna be using a Valorant since I couldn't play Call of Duty, Fortnite, and Cyberpunk 2077. And let's just get straight on with it. Let me just download. Oh, let me just log in. Alright. FRAPS has been um, suddenly turned off. Oh, there we have it. The FRAPS is running. Okay. We're gonna be tackling this one by one so that it cannot be oh, I wouldn't be able to confuse you about what are the things that been going around here. So we're gonna be answering the range, which can be somehow a practice range for every Valorant players. Well, first of all, I chose you know, I chose Valorant as one of my games that will be displayed on this
My
activity.
ultimate's ready.
Well,
My ult's ready.
oops. Okay. So, well, first of all, um, Valorant is an ideal game to assess system performance because of its balance between resources demands and popularity. Well, we all know that Valorant is all over the country, and not only for the country but also for other countries as well. They have different tournaments that has been that has been surfacing around, and Valorant has its a lot of users. So it means that if a user, I mean, if a software has its lots of their own users, it needs to be improvised so that they can cater a lot of, a lot of people who wants to play their game, to play their software. So, well, Valorant is designed to run on a wide range of systems, from low end to high performance setup. So, meaning even if you have such a poor quality build of your desktop, you can still play Valorant. But with the cons of having a low graphics, you cannot be able to fully experience um, you know the immersive type of gameplay that you're gonna be expecting on playing such a games like this. So so it is actually a good choice for testing our benchmarks when it comes to FPS, packet losses, and memory usage. So it demands moderate CPU and GPU resources, especially when played at higher frame rates and graphic settings. This makes it useful for benchmarking and testing how well a system can handle fast-paced gameplay, particularly in terms of maintaining smooth frame rates and responsiveness. Since this is actually a first type of shooting games, um, there will be a lot of things going around when we are going to play in a PvP mode. But as for this one, we're still gonna be playing for about training mode, so it will not gonna be some kind of complicated things going around at your monitor. So it will not consume a lot of frame rate, and I think the FPS would be somehow high as we expect, as long as you have a GPU or a CPU that can handle those kind of um, resources. Okay, so by having out here, let me just look out the outline. Alright, well, the popularity. So it's one of the games that is undeniably been dominating um, the gaming community over the past few years. So especially when in pandemic, when people are being stuck at their homes, um, one thing that were being stand out for gamers out there was to play this such game, since this offers a unique sets of gameplay where you can use skills, and alongside you can showcase your aiming skills or shooting skills to kill and reach your goal. So Valorant is one of the most popular first-person shooter games with a large active player base. Its competitive nature and esports focus require high performance and low latency. So it's essential to monitor and optimize system performance for a better gaming experience. Testing a game that's widely played also makes the top performance insights more relatable, and applicable to a broader audience as many gamers aim to optimize their systems for Valorant. So, yeah, this Valorant game has been popularized all over the world, all over the country, and it's actually a great game to so that many youngsters or many folks who want to play such an experience of playing first-person shooter games, even with such a low latency, they can be able, they can still be able to play and experience this kind of games. All right. Oops, we are being automatically kicked out of the range, but it's just gonna be we're gonna be going back. All right. So we're halfway through our agenda for this activity. So we are actually trying to you know uh we're gonna be playing some game real time so that we can be able to I can be able to show to you how CPU works and how memory usage works when playing such a game. Okay, I'm gonna be starting a recording of playing myself while having my real-time emotions where you can see on the webcam, and and as you can see at the top right corner, and as you all can remember, the time that we open our FRAPS, we have some kind of configurations where we can put where the overlay should be. So I put one on the top right corner where you can see the 30, that is being considered as the number of FPS that were being displayed throughout the whole gameplay on the game itself. Alright. Alright. Then we can just see here that it was being way above 100 or 200, and it keeps changing and changing because a lot of
My
things going
ultimate's
around
ready.
when you're going to be playing such a demanding games like this. Alright, we're gonna start practicing, and as you can see, there are continuous changes of FPS. And one of the advantage of playing Valorant, the reason why I like this game so much, well, because it also offers a built-in monitoring of FPS and also pocket losses. So we got here a client FPS. You can see at the very top left corner, it also has offers a pocket losses. This is actually being displayed when there are some kind of glitches happened, and also such things like um, you know there's some kind of a bit troubleshooting that needs to be done on your computer. So yeah, and we're gonna be start to shoot this kind of plot so that we can be able to showcase those viewers how this FPS rates keeps changing and changing.
They will cower! See nothing.
As you can see here, that my FPS is not really that low since I got a built-in graphics card inside my CPU. So that is actually a pretty decent amount of FPS, especially when this kind of games that were being played. So I suggest that if you want some kind of top of these games and you wanna play some sort of these games, you should get one like my GPU as well. But you can also, if you have some kind of extra money, well, you can just buy some kind of an expensive CPU and then just go straight with partnered with a GPU so that it can offer a very very realistic and immersive gameplay of the game you choose. we're gonna try some kind of agents that has a lot of um, things that are being played.
It's ready.
All right, there you have it.
Satchel out. Satchel out.
All right. As you can see
Satchel
here,
out.
we are running.
Satchel out. Satchel out. Satchel out. Here comes the party. My ult's ready. Satchel out. Satchel out. Here comes the party. Ult's ready.
So one thing that I noticed about playing such a FPS games, when everything is being bundled up together, we can definitely see here that the FPS is getting lower. Um, because I mean, if we have some kind of um, high frame rate and every pixels of our monitor that needs to be recorded, so our FPS will gonna be turned into somehow a bit lower than what we expect. But if we have some kind of good components or a good and trusted CPU and GPU, well, we don't need to worry to have some kind of low latency in terms of FPS, or we should say FPS drop, because it offers a huge amount of benchmarking when it comes to FPS and pocket losses. So, yeah, um,
Satchel out. Satchel out.
by putting all this together,
Satchel out.
we
Here
should be able
comes the
to
party. My ult's ready.
how FPS changes through time that we are playing.
Satchel out. Satchel out.
So much things going on, alright?
Satchel out. Satchel out. Satchel out. Satchel out.
Alright, so that's gonna be that's will be all for now for the gameplay. I don't want to showcase my skills in a PvP mode because I'm not really good at it. So let's just get straight on with our next agenda for this activity. Yeah. It says here that we need to switch to Task Manager while playing the gameplay that we chose on that we choose off. And show the real-time CPU usage. So let's just get straight on with it. So we can see here that we are on the Task Manager alongside with our Valorant gameplay here, and we can see here that after we put some games on it, the CPU usage became higher because as far as I remember, the GPU were being recorded here at the very first line, but when we started playing such a FPS games, it became higher and higher. Well, one of the reason why, because Valorant needs to consume a lot of usage when it comes to memory, and as for our system, our CPU, it also has a GPU on it. So if we are running such a software like this that needs to be that needs to have a decent amount of graphics, it will also use our CPU since the GPU is being stored inside our CPU. Yeah. Alright, so as for this case, well, we can see the 30 FPS, and we can see here the different types of information that were being um, displayed here on our task manager. And yeah, not to forget, we also need to discuss how many threads um, that this kind of CPU can handle. Alright, let me just put some notes on here. Alright, so during our gameplay, we can notice, especially in modern games like Valorant, multiple threads are actively utilized by the system. The game itself, along with the other processes, distributes tasks across these threads to manage various aspects of performance. So, first of all, I'm going to be having such an overview about threads. So, what is actually a threads? So, threads are individual sequences of instructions that a program executes in a multi-threaded environment. Different threads handle separately tasks simultaneously, which can improve efficiency and performance, especially in games. So, what are the use of threads in gameplay? So, in Valorant, threads are distributed across your CPU cores to handle game logic, rendering, audio, networking, and input and output, such as mouse, keyboard, display, and other peripherals that you own. So yeah, there is actually a huge impact of having a huge amount of threads. Well, one of the example was we can have like a multi-core CPUs and multi-threading. Um, Games like this Valorant are optimized to utilize multiple CPU cores, meaning each core can handle different threads. A core, a CPU with more cores and threads can run this task simultaneously without overloading one core, resulting in smoother gameplay. So, if we have so many cores, um, then it just results a better and smooth gameplay that um, that can result in a better experience of playing the game. Okay, so we are actually in the near end of our activity here. So yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So this one being stated that after the gameplay, review the recorded data from both FRAPS, FPS statistics, and Task Manager CPU usage. So as for this case, we are gonna be comparing the 30, the FRAPS and the FRAPS that were being recorded and alongside with the data that was being recorded by our task manager. So, yep. Okay. Okay. All right. So as we all notice here that the FPS or the spikes in CPU usage is actually being caused by the higher higher graphical settings and background processes and also the type of component whatever we're using it. So if we have some kind of a poor quality when it comes to CPU and GPU, we can expect that it will just gives us somehow a very low type of you know results in terms of FPS. And by having a huge graphics, or we can let's see here what is our here's the settings. So I got here the oh, there you have it, the max FPS 60. So oh, there you have it. That's why we are having such a low high FPS, and the game is being running smoothly because we have some kind of configurations in terms of our graphics quality. It was being put down into low mode so that it won't consume um, much enough usage when it comes to your CPU, to your memory, and to every component on your desktop. So that's actually one of my tips on if you want your game to work smoothly and to run smoothly. What I could suggest is be patient of having a low graphics than getting frustrated over a software, over your game, for being for having so many glitches, for having so many pocket losses. So I think that's one of the optimization that we can use so that we can be able to improve our gameplay, our experience when we're playing such things like this, such games like this. Yep. Um, so, but as for this case, we have some kind of different tools that I can recommend um, that we can find in the Windows so that we can, somehow improve the overall system performance, especially for gaming. So first one, the game mode. So by enabling this, we should go to settings, gaming, and game mode, and toggle it on. It helps improve performance by dedicating more CPU and GPU resources to your game and limiting unnecessary background processes. So additionally, so if we could somehow remove all those running software so that we can be the CPU and the GPU can only focus on the game itself. It will not gonna be distributed all across the software that you're currently using. So it would actually be a great idea to just open only the game that you're currently playing, so that you can have such a very very good first-hand experience when playing your game. So we also got the graphic settings, hardware, accelerated GPU scheduling. So what it does, reduce latency and improve performance by enabling hardware accelerated GPU scheduling, which allows your graphic cards to manage its own memory. We have a lot here, but those are just some of the examples that we can use so that we can be able to improve the overall performance of our gaming. And as for this case, we are on the very end of our activity, so that by providing my key takeaways from using both FRAPS Task Manager for performance measurement. So encourage viewers to try these methods and thems- methods themselves and share their experience in the comments. So yeah, well, as for this case, by using Fraps and Task Manager is very, very, very essential for me, especially um, I like to put some games on my desktop so that I can play with my friends. I can consider myself as a gamer, so by having this kind of two components that were being used all together, I can be able to monitor how much this my CPU and my GPU can handle the games that I want to play. So if I want to play something, um, you know, a very very demanding game such as Call of Duty, I would be able to monitor if the CPU is not really holding it, or if it's not really that type of component that can be able to run such games like that. I would gonna be I will be aware of what are the factors that were being displayed why my game is being why it's running slow. So I'm gonna be turning off such a different softwares that are being that are being run so that my CPU and GPU would be able to focus on the main game itself. And alongside with it, I will also gonna be turning off some kind of enhancements when it comes to the graphics quality. So that it will not gonna be cause much usage to my memory, to my CPU, and to my GPU as well. Well, for encouragement words to the viewers out there, well, um, I highly recommend this to those gamers out there that wanna go that wanna have some kind of information about how well their desktop is running, and what are the things that needs to be maintained, what are the things that need to be improved on their desktop, so that they can prevent something worse in the future that can possibly happen. because by having this two software, we can be able to monitor each time that we're using the desktop, um, especially using this kind of games that is being considered as, you know, a CPU eater or a CPU usage eater. So um, this can be somehow um, can be a problem when it goes out of hand. So we need to have this kind of software so that we can be able to monitor and be able to test all the components out together. So I think that's one of my encouragement to those viewers that were being, that are watching these videos right now. But as for the other folks who is not really into gaming, I would really recommend by using this kind of interface, especially FRAPS. You don't have to download FRAPS when you're not really into that kind of world where you wanna play some games, because FRAP is only being, you know, being used by the gamer itself. And I guess that would pretty much it. Um, I hope you learned something from my commentary and my how I managed to put some gameplay on my Valorant account. And I'm gonna be seeing you on the next one. So I hope um, you can also take some, you know, key lessons from my video, and I'm very grateful to have this kind of opportunity to showcase what are the advantages and disadvantages of using Fraps and also the Task Manager, especially to those fellow gamers out there. So I want to thank you all for listening, and I hope you can have a good one. Goodbye.